I just had a death in my family, a close cousin, and I don't think he knew the Lord. So I've been like really wrestling with that night and day. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, put on your sermons, listen for a while, go back to sleep, struggle with it day and night. I've been thinking about it, and I kind of finally came to the conclusion, if you have to ask if someone knew the Lord, they probably didn't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just knowing Christ makes me swoon, and I want to tell everybody. I have a big mouth, big mouth. And I think that everybody that loves the Lord has a big mouth. And we either want to rejoice, or we want to warn our loved ones. I try to go to what J.C. Ryle said about, I thought about the thief on the cross, and I thought, well, maybe, in his last moments. But I kind of really am convinced that you can't go through your life rejecting God and in the last minute make a fire insurance policy.
Well, it could happen.
It could happen.
But you wouldn't know that.
Exactly. So my question is, how do I reconcile that in my head?
I don't think you can, because you love Christ, and I can tell by the way you're talking that you want to tell everybody about Christ. And you can't get past the fact that this person that you know and love died without Christ, and you shouldn't be able to get past it. It ought to wake you up in the middle of the night. It ought to disturb your soul. And that's, I wish all Christians felt that way. We come way too easily to terms with that. Oh, somebody died a non-Christian. If that doesn't move you, then you don't understand what that means. You don't understand the devastating reality of that. If hell isn't a horror to you, if you don't lose sleep over that, then you're way too comfortable with the perishing of the unconverted. We should never come to terms with that. Some people stay awake at night because they worry about trivial things. They worry about earthly failures, earthly problems. I'm afraid too few Christians lose sleep over the death of the unconverted. I think that's because we've become way too familiar with that. And we live in a very sterile world. We don't see people die. I would say most people in this church tonight have never seen someone in the throes of death. Very unusual to be where someone is dying without Christ and see that and experience that. Everything is hidden from us. And so I think yours is the right response to that, Jackie. And when you don't feel like that, then you've become indifferent to it. You've fallen victim to, sad to say, what many people have as their attitude. It's just another day, another death. It ought to disturb you, and I'm happy that it does, and it will only add to your zeal to proclaim the glories of Christ. Yes, could your cousin have been saved in the last hours? Yes, that could happen. That certainly could happen. But you can't know that. And if you couldn't see that this person was a believer by the life he lived or she lived, then there is no evidence. And if there's no evidence, there's no life. So I'm glad you feel the way you do. And the Lord will give you mercy and grace and comfort to get beyond this. But I hope you never lose that sense of the horror of the death of an unbeliever. Okay? Thank you, Jack.